Hi, I'm Cece, and this is your Belmont Math and Science Center Tutor Tip. So I've noticed working with a lot of students that some of my students have trouble simplifying square roots. So this symbol here is the radical, right? And when we have a number under the radical, we want to simplify it, and sometimes that totally gets rid of the radical, but sometimes we still have one. So students usually know what to do with a nice number like 25, right? The square root of 25 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. But if we have a number that's a little bit more complicated, like the square root of 18, for instance, it takes a little bit more work. So one way that you can think of it, my teacher taught me to think of it this way, is that this is square rootville. So in square rootville, it's a little bit of a dangerous area, so you can't go outside of the house by yourself. So we think of this radical as the house, all right? So everything that's under the radical is inside the house. So you can only go outside the house if you have a buddy. So what we're going to do is we're going to break up 18 into its factors. So if you don't know where to start, one place to start could be, can I divide it by 2? So 18, we can divide by 2. And when we divide 18 by 2, we get 9, which breaks up into 3 and 3, right? 9 divided by 3 is 3. So we have a pair of 3s. So since we have two factors of 3s, we know that the 3 is going to be able to go outside the house with its pair, but the 2 is going to have to stay inside the house. So square root of 18 is going to simplify to 3 times the square root of 2. And remember that 3 on the outside is coming from the pair of 3s, and the 2 on the inside is coming from that single factor of 2. So let's do a few more examples to maybe help us get the idea of this. So let's try square root of 28. So once again, if you're not sure where to start, you can always divide by 2, not always, but you can always try dividing by 2. So we divide 28 by 2, we get 14, and then we divide 14 by 2, we get 7. So we have 2 factors of 2, so sort of the same situation. 2 gets to come outside of the house, and 7 has to stay inside. So we get that 28 is the same thing as 2 square root of 7. All right, let's try a sort of different example. So what if we have square root of 15? And we break that up into factors. We know 15 divided by 3 is 5. But those are our only factors, so we don't actually have any pairs this time. So that means both 3 and 5 have to stay in the house. So we multiply them, we get 15. So it turns out that square root of 15 is the most simplified version. All right, let's just try one more kind. So what if we have something like 72? So we're going to be working with a few more factors this time. So if we divide 72 by 2, get 36. You might recognize that this is 6 squared. So you could break that up into 6 and 6, but let's say you didn't. You break it up into 2 and 18. Then 18 you can break up into 2 and 9. And 9 you can break up into 3 and 3. So we have a pair of 2s and a pair of 3s, and then this 2 is on its own. So a pair of 2s gets to go outside, a pair of 3s gets to go outside, and then a 2 has to stay on the inside. So when we have 2 factors that go on the outside, we multiply them. So we're going to get this is 6 times the square root of 2. What you'll notice is the same thing as if at this step you had realized that this was the same, that 36 was the same thing as 6 squared, and just broken that up into 6 and 6. Then you could go from here and just get 6 square root of 2. All right, so those are some examples of how that works. I hope that was helpful to you. If you have any questions about it, you are always welcome to come visit us in the Math Science Center and ask about it, and ask your professors about it. Yeah, thank you for watching.